Hey y'all, it's Chonfelito. We got a new tank in store today. We've got the Progetto M35 Mod 46. I got the stats pulled up here. I am going to link down in the description different parts if you just want to see the stats. I'll link parts so that it just jumps to this part, and if you want to see replays, it'll jump forward to the replays. So go ahead and look down there if you want to skip over these stats and you just want to see some replays on the tank. So first off, I'm going to compare it here to the Pantera. That's going to be its closest competitor in Tier 8, as it is an auto reloader, and it is a pan-European tank as well. So you can see here, I found the Progetto to be a pretty decent tank. As you can see, the stats are pretty comparable. It does have a lower DPM than the Pantera, and all the stats are just a little bit lower, but it does have a nice 240 alpha, which is above the Pantera, so it does help when it comes to it. But you can see on those reloads, if you shoot the first and second shell of the Pantera, you are going to lose a little bit of DPM because the reload is a little bit different. But if you go and look at the Progetto, if you shoot those first two shells, then you're going to have 4.8 seconds and 4.8 seconds. So you're not really going to lose that much DPM if you shoot off that second shell. It's just when you get to that third shell that you're going to start losing some DPM. But you can see the aim time is better than the Pantera. The dispersion is the same. It does have an extra degree of gun depression, which can be helpful, as the armor isn't amazing, but if you get that angled up, you do make that turret a little bit more difficult to pen. Now, the speed is a little bit slower than the Pantera at 55 kilometers an hour, and it does lack in the power to weight ratio. As you play the tank, you kind of do feel that it is a little bit sluggish, especially if you've played the other auto reloaders or other mediums. It does feel a little bit sluggish, but not bad. You can still get around and make it work, as you'll see in the replays coming up.
Now this first replay we got going here, this is going to be me. These first two are going to be me, and the last one's going to be Fizzy with that number 3 on the Hall of Fame right now. So, again, I'm trying to bring you guys an average player's opinion on the tank. So these replays aren't going to be too amazing, but they're just going to show how to use the tank, some decent spots, some decent gameplay. So I really just want to show you guys how an average player would look at this tank and how it's going to play out for them. All right, here, I don't mean to run into this bulldog, but you can see I'm just trying to get up. I believe this is like my second or third game in the tank. So I'm still getting used to how big the tank is. It's not huge, but you can see I do catch my track on a lot of things throughout this replay. So as I'm going, I'm just blind firing that bush, seeing if there's any TDs still left there where they shouldn't be. And one thing that this tank really does do a good job of is getting those kill stills. Now, the way that I play this tank is the similar way that Meadsy says to play it, is if you've got a shot, take it. The only reason I would not do that is if you know that a tank is a 2-shot for you or a 3-shot, then go ahead and reload your full clip so that you can clip them out and you don't have to wait for that last shell to reload. So you can see right in here, this is going to be a good example of when to take your shots and when not to. I could have taken a shot maybe and gotten that T-54, but I'm just waiting, taking my time. I've got my second shell, and I'm working on my third shell. Now right here, I see that T-54 is down to a clippable amount, so I'm going to try and rush in and get that shot. Now right here, I'm going to run in here, get a shot on him, come around the corner, get a shot on this Pantera, and then I'm going to work my way over to this Object 252U right there. You can see I do take a shot from him, but I'm not too worried because I mainly just want to get to him and circle him. As you can see, the tank does get up and go pretty quick. It's just kind of the terrain resistance that can get you caught up and make it so that you don't quite get the shots that you need and that you aren't able to get to exactly the position as quickly as you were hoping. But overall, it is a pretty mobile tank. I would recommend playing this tank as if it doesn't have any hit points, as you are pretty easily penned. The armor isn't amazing on it, so you do need to be careful and aware. Now, as I'm rolling up here, I'm just taking shots on this M6. I'm rolling up. By the time I got there, my clip would be reloaded anyways. That's kind of one of the nice things about the auto reloaders is you can take your shots on your way to your targets, and if you hit them, good job, and if not, then by the time you get there, you'll have your clip back anyways. So you might as well just take shots so you can get as you're trying to get closer to your targets because you're going to have your clip reloaded anyways. That's one of the best things about the auto reloaders. So I'm going to roll up here. Again, this isn't too much of a struggle on the game, but it does kind of show how you can get in there. Use your clip. Make sure you are paying attention to that reload. If you have 0.01 seconds left before you can take another shot, then go ahead and just take another 0.20 seconds and reload your full clip. That way you have another opportunity to do 240 damage. So right there, you see we finished that battle We end up on, I believe, 3 kills, first class, 2.4k damage. Nothing amazing, but just kind of shows the characteristics and the playstyle that you can use on this tank. Next, we've got, again, myself. On this replay, we try to do the best that we can with this. I noticed that nobody's really pushing over here towards A and B, and they all decide to kind of go up towards C. So I'm not going to push up too aggressively. I'm just going to try and spot, see if there is any tanks that are going to be over here on A and B. So I do want to be aware of where the tanks are around me. Keep an eye on that mini-map. The view range is okay on this tank. You're not going to spot everything, but you are going to be able to get your spots on. It can be good for spotting. Now I'm able to get a shot on that IS-5. I was hoping that I wasn't spotted, but I was a little bit too far out in that bush, and the bush wasn't concealing me fully, so I got a shot taken on me. All right, here I know that IS-5 might still be looking, so I don't want to push across just yet. I want to make sure that he's out of the way and that he's not going to push on me too hard, because again, not every tank is spotted, so I do need to be careful. And I spot that IS-5, and he's hiding back a little bit, so I'm going to push over here to try and help deal with this Camp Fencer 70 with my teammate so that we can get him taken care of. Now the pen on this, you can see the AP isn't the greatest pen, but it can do its thing. But you are going to need to use the APCR sometimes to get those shots off. Right here, he's a one shot left. You can see I'm just taking the shots that I have, even though I'm not fully reloading my clip. I'm still trying to be effective, because if he can get one more shot off, then it's going to be detrimental to our teammate. To our teams. You can see he's going to take out that 59 patent. If I would have taken a little bit more time, aimed in my shot, and gotten that pen on that tank. You can see right here, able to finish him up, no big deal. Now right here, I see that IS-5 is isolated and that E75 is pushing around. So I'm going to let him push around, see if I can get a shot. I was trying to go for a hat shot right there, but it just doesn't happen. I know there's more tanks out there, and I see that ISU-52, and I know that he had just shot at that E75, so I try to take that opportunity to circle around so we can get a little pincer move going on this IS-5, because he is the last one over here on this side that is keeping my teammates from pushing around and pushing forward. Now right here, I'm trying to use the 9 degrees of gun depression that it does have to get this IS-5 taken care of, but I'm not going to be able to pen him unless he shoots first, so I'm really just trying to bait out a shot here, trying to make sure that I'm not too far forward. You see that Pantera tries to shoot me, and I look at that Pantera to make that IS-5 think that I'm coming up to get a shot, and it does fake him out enough that I can get around him and get a shot on him and able to clear him up. Now it's down to a 2 versus 4. This is a pretty tough situation, as there are full hit points tanks left. I see that Object 704 is right there, able to get one more shot into him, trying to finish him up before he comes around here, and able to get him as long as I didn't low roll, and I got him. Now I notice that T49 is looping around, so I do want to be aware of when he pops up to take a shot. Now right here, I probably could have done a better job of hiding around the tank, but I mean, what are you going to do? And he misses me anyway, so the T49 is coming around here. I maybe should have taken that shot right there so that I don't get this shot taken on me right here from the standard B, as that really does hurt, and his HE can pen me. So I'm down to a 1 shot. It's a 2 versus 1. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to win this, as I know that standard B is pretty well full health, and I know that this Pantera here is full health as well, so I just try and get one more shot. Not a whole lot I can do. But you can see that the tank can do well, but it is pretty team dependent depending upon how your team goes. So you do want to be aware with your team on where it's going. Now, I don't know currently if it's still number 3 or not, as it is the first day of the tank. So we're going to see how well Fizzy's record here holds up against the other players. So he's going to roll up here to the middle. He's going to try and get some spots on. As I said, that 9 degrees of gun depression is very helpful. I like playing tanks that have 10 degrees, so I do notice a little bit of, if you're used to 10 degree tanks and going into those positions, this tank can be a little bit troublesome trying to get those positions. Now right here, he doesn't spot anybody out here, but he does spot that Helsing, so he's going to go out and try and deal with him. As he comes out here, he does need to be aware that there may be other tanks in this area, so he does need to be careful, and he notices the SP1C back there and decides to take another shot. Again, Fizzy with these no scopes, I don't know what he's doing, but he makes it work. It does a great job of just poking out. You can see he has shots, so he takes the shots. If he didn't have a shot, then just stay back and reload. But you can see that MT25 was able to clear him out. So now there's no sense in rushing out against this Helsing with just one shot in the chamber. and receive 400 back, because as soon as he pokes out here, he can shoot all 3 of his shells and does a nice job of, look at that, 725 with those 2 shells, and just is unable to get that last kill on him. You can see he does a good job of knowing when to reload. Poking out against that Helsing with 1 shot left really doesn't help, because you're just going to dump 240 into him, and you're going to get about 400 back from him if he pens you. So that was a good call to make sure that you're reloading your shells when you have a full hit point tank to deal with. Now right here, he's got a couple of tanks left to deal with, trying to just inch that way in. You can see he's got that IS-3 there that he's trying to get his shots on, and then he's able to get one more into that Churchill, or the Black Prince, excuse me, as he goes around the corner. Now it is a 5 versus 4, so they're not in too much strife, but that Tiger 2 is going to go down right there, and he's able to get one more shot in that Black Prince, but unfortunately it bounces. So as he's going around here, he's kind of just going to hold this corner, try and get the shots that he can, but he does get a little bit wrecked going around that corner. It was a little bit dangerous to poke, knowing that all the tanks are there, you are spotted, and they are looking at you. Now this MT25 needs to get out of there with Fizzy so that they can use the best of their abilities, but Fizzy's gonna allow that MT25 to be some bait as that Black Prince rolls around. Now the DPM of the Black Prince you do not want to mess with. It will beat you every single time. So as he's coming up, he just wants to be careful on what is going on with the tank here. Now you can see, sorry about that notification, got me a little, I forgot to turn off notifications on this, but anyways, so as he's coming around here, he's got that IS-3 to deal with, and that T-69. Now, he does a good job. It's a 3 versus 2, so he decides to pick on this T-69. He was going to roll around, which makes that T-69 roll back to try and focus him, and he's able to take that time to reload his shells. That T-69's not sure if he should reload or not, so he does take that opportunity to roll forward and to try to get some last-minute shots on him. Uses the auto-aim to try and get around him. Now, he knows that T-69 is reloading, but as well, so is Fizzy, so he's going to try and get around him, try and get one more shot. Unfortunately, he's going to get right there, but it doesn't quite finish him up. But he's able to get one last shot in him right there to finish him up. And it ends him up on only 2 kills, but 4.5k damage. He does a great job of rolling through, making sure to use that reload effectively, and making sure on how to best play the tank and best use that clippable ability. So one thing is this tank worth it for the 15k gold? It's about average for a new tank that comes out, so you do need to just be aware of that. Just know that it will come back cheaper eventually. So just one thing that I compare it to is kind of like an olden day premium, when they used to be a little bit worse tank than the Tech Tree tank, but they just earn a lot more credits. So again, if you're to pick up this tank, you're not going to be disappointed, but it's not OP. It's nothing that you need to pick up right now, or else you're never going to see it again, kind of like the Smasher was. So if you guys liked the video, go ahead and leave a like, and go ahead and sub to the channel, and I'll keep these videos coming for you. And as soon as I get a new tank in the store, I'll try and pick it up for you so that I can get a review out on it and let you guys know what my opinion is on it. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all in the next one.